We were involved in 4 situations out there in a period of 35 hours. It was a very extreme weather event. The phone went about 2 a.m. in the morning, and I remember waking up and it was pretty windy and raining, and I thought, here we go. So I answered the call, and it was a fellow from the Marine Area Command in Sydney telling us that there was a yacht in strife and a fellow had stuck up the mast for the last 8 hours.
Yeah, got out there, it was pretty rough. It got bigger as we were going out. It's the biggest I've probably seen in my career.
And we've been out there from 2 a.m. and got back in about 9 in the morning. And then we got a Mayday job where we were given the actual incorrect location.
The original location we were told was inshore. Thought the little boat would suffice for that job. And then the phone call from Sgt Hogg was that the actual location was offshore.
We knew that the storm had hit and it was blowing reasonably hard, and the sea conditions were pretty ordinary. And I didn't have time to get the boys to come back and switch boats, so I met them out at the heads. When you get to the heads and you see the conditions, you certainly question yourself sometimes that, what am I doing here?
We got hit by a pretty decent wave, went straight out, pretty much broke over the top of us on the little boat. We had water come through the roof, and yeah, we couldn't see for a few seconds. Then yeah, another wave hit us, and that was pretty much at that stage I decided it's not real safe for us to keep continuing. We'd probably need rescuing if we kept going, I thought.
Ideally we would have had 3 or 4 on our big launch, but unfortunately just the circumstances that came, we're only able to have 2 officers on our launch, and that was to remain for the rest of the journey.
From the conditions, I knew it was as bad as it gets. It was getting worse by the hour.
You know, our visibility was quite poor. We could only see, 2 or 3 metres in front of the bow. The waves were, up to 7-8 metres in height, and again, we're trying to communicate all the time using the police radio. So Tony was always at the wheel.
I had my window open. At one stage a wave just came crashing through the window. I was drenched and drenched all our electronics on the dash.
Whenever I had to go onto the rear deck to throw a tow line, that was probably the most scared that I was. When you wear your life jacket, you have a little inflatable toggle, and I had that ready because it's sometimes, you think I'm going to get thrown overboard.
It's not the longest tow I've ever done, but it's the longest tow in the most shortest distance. It's a trip that we can do in 20 minutes in the boat. It took us pretty much 13 to 14 hours to do. You tried to walk on the wharf here, for example, and it was just like you were still out there. When we got back in and we were able to tie the yacht that we were towing to the wharf and they were all safe, another vessel out there, the marine rescue vessel, in fact got into some strife, so we had to change crews, and that's where Andrew and Nicholas had to go back out there.
By the time we got maybe 5 nautical miles from the yacht, they had managed to get into the life raft, ride through the surf, and the yacht and the life raft were high and dry on the beach.
95% of the time it's a great job. You're dealing with people on a regular basis who are out there enjoying the water, but then you just get that small percentage of time when you do put yourself and your fellow crew and workmates at risk. You wouldn't change it for anything else. Every day is different, and just the team environment that you work with, it's a great place to be. So you always look forward to coming to work.